All right. What's up, everybody? It's Ed O'Keefe, and it is time. Time for another show. My staff was calling me. They're like, Ed, you got to get another podcast to us because you've missed 2 dates, you know? And I said, well, okay. But they don't understand that when you are running promotions for a seminar, nothing else matters. So today, I'm going to grab an amazing pizza for me and my family at Open Outcry, which is here in the south side of Chicago. And I'm going to give you a nice little 7 to 10 minute update here on the Ed O'Keefe Show. So what's new? We have a lot of new things happen and a lot of fun stuff. So a couple of my buddies that I work out with told me that they can't relate to the last few episodes because it's all about business and traffic and whatever. So let's stay away from that and let's go into like adventure and fun stuff. So let me give you a couple updates. So about 3 weeks ago, I was in Colorado with Jesse Itzler and a group of guys climbing a mountain, doing this thing called the Incline in Manitou Springs, which you have to do. And then the week after that, we did Hell on the Hill at Jesse's house. I know back-to-back weekends. I'm not a big fan of being gone back-to-back weekends, but I couldn't pass up the invite from Jesse, and then my wife and I, it's our favorite weekend at his and Sarah Blakely's home in Connecticut. So enough about the context. And then today, actually, I'll tell you what I did today. I went and was a bad guy for, I can't tell you who was on the good side training, but let's just say they were the elite assaulters. That's what they were called, the assaulters. And that was probably one of the scariest things I've done ever, being a bad guy, when you know 12 dudes or 6 guys, I think they were in a team of like 8 to 12 guys, were flying down the hall methodically to kill you with their air assault rifles or whatever the heck they were equipped with, and that my little M15 air assault thing was not going to do anything to them because they destroyed me and all the other people that were the bad people. So let's back up. Let's go back. So a lot of adventure. End of the summer. My son started school today. We got the kids start school. The rest of the kids start Monday. And we're just off to the races here at the O'Keefe house, transitioning out of summer and into fall. So I'm sure you can relate to that. So anyhow, let's go back to Colorado. So Colorado was an amazing time. Check it out. It's called the Incline, Manitou Springs, Manitou Springs. It's 2,744 feet ascent, and I think you increase elevation by 2,000 feet in that timeline, and you're already at elevation. So being a Chicago guy, where we don't obviously have elevations, we have like a hill in the entire city, maybe a couple of them. And it was a unique experience, very intense. The fastest guy ever to do the Incline, I think, was 17 minutes and 22 seconds, which means you are doing 2,744 steps at a pretty nice jogging pace. Under 30 minutes, you're a world-class athlete. And then under 40 minutes, you're a high-level athlete. And so that's kind of where I fell. I think I was like 38 minutes, 13 seconds, give or take a few seconds to catch my breath and press pause. But what's crazy about that was, and why I think you should do it, is it's absolutely free once you're there. And if you go in a group, you can go at the pace you need to go. I was amazed at the different body types, the different people that were up there. The biggest thing I noticed was this, and this will be I'll give you like maybe one quick lesson I took away from that, even though I had many of them. And I found this. I'm reading actually a really good book, Endure, Endure. Again, Jesse gave it to us when we were out at Hell on the Hill. And it's about how the endurance in doing really, really hard things, that there's an elasticity to it, in that it's not as mathematical as people would like to break it down. And so I'll give you my little interpretation of that. But I'm still reading the book, but I'll give you my interpretation of some of this and how I at least convince my brain and my body to allow me to persevere while doing hard things. First of all, your body is almost designed, or no, maybe not almost, it is designed in such a way that when you go from like status 0, your heart rate's not up, your lungs aren't breathing heavy, you have enough oxygen to when you then start doing really, really hard things pretty quickly. And this is what we face on the incline, I noticed right away, is like we're just walking at first, but as you're walking, you're ascending. And then before you start hitting really big steps, walking at a pretty good clip, you know, my heart started going into my throat and my breathing became pretty heavy at that point. And what I just want to share with you is something that I've used a lot while doing either CrossFit workouts or doing hard things like climbing a mountain or being really physically taxed is that I will tell myself that this is not going to kill you and to keep moving. And it's a really good mantra because when you're and by the way, for those of you who have heart conditions or asthma or any breathing conditions, this advice that I'm giving does not apply to any of you, and I'm not giving any health advice at all. What I'm just giving you is a perception of reality, is that you can talk to your body and tell it, hey, you could slow down your breathing. You could tell it, hey, relax, you're fine, and I'm in control here. Or you could just tell yourself, just keep pushing. You're not going to die. Just keep pushing. And what I've kind of found is, in almost all cases, your body will listen to you. It will adjust. And now, do you have to slow down at times? Sure, of course you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be real. You'd be a robot. But you could push beyond that. So the mathematics of stuff sometimes and the black and white of how things should happen, there's an elasticity to it. Two people, same exact skill sets. One has a different mental fortitude and interpretation of these signals and distress signals that are being sent their way. And the person who interprets them in a way that supports them, meaning like, oh, wow, my heart rate's up, my breathing's good. It's because my body's just getting the oxygen that it needs. And this is good because I'm now moving and I feel good. And you can tell yourself these things. Somebody who thinks, oh, no, I need to slow down dramatically, and oh no, I can't handle this, or what was I thinking, or I wonder when I have to stop. Like, that person's going to start experiencing more opportunities to stop and fail and not persevere. And so that's just really something that I've seen doing, whether it's Kokoro Camp, whether it's any of these things. And the reason why you want to make sure that you are injecting a positive attitude and a good smile on your face, like, so smiling a lot, is because I had a Navy SEAL instructor tell me this, Coach Chris Smith, once when I was talking about when people quit and drop out. And he said, have you ever seen somebody trying to bench press and they've hit their failure point? Like, like say you're doing a 1 rep max or 2 rep max and you hit a failure point where you start to increase, but you can't go any further. And he said, what happens when they can't go any further is they end up dropping. And while the example I'm giving you is mostly physical, about like squatting a 1 rep max, the reality is so much of it's mental before you get there. So people wait. You can't positive think your way out of a corner you've already built yourself into and hope that like, oh, well, this positive thinking stuff doesn't work. Well, it's because you waited too long to become positive. You need to have a good operating model of your potentiality, how your body will respond, and then what's possible for you. And no matter where your limits are, whether you're someone who's a very casual, you're someone who's trying to get back in shape, or someone who's world class, this applies. Even people who are at a world class elite level physically still have to check themselves when doing extraordinarily difficult things. A side point here, I was watching like the Leadville 100 winner. He won in like 15 hours, incredible pace. But one of the things he said when they were interviewing him, Leadville 100 is one of the hardest 100-mile races in the States. It's in Colorado. I have a guest coming on the show soon that just completed it. He was in that race. That's why I was tracking it. As he had said, like, sometimes throughout the race, your body felt like you needed to stop. And then in 10 minutes later, it felt euphoric. Like it can go on forever. And I think that's one of the things that most people don't realize, and is that all these situations or emotional states or physical states are temporary cycles. And the reason why I like doing really hard stuff over periods of time is that you get to experience multiple cycles. So what I mean by that is, say you're out for an hour climbing a mountain, or you're out for an hour climbing steps, or running, or doing a long CrossFit workout, or on a bike. I'm not a big cyclist, but I'd imagine it's very similar. Is 45-minute workout's only going to give you a certain type of mental check. And it's a good one. Some of these workouts we do at CrossFit are 7 minutes long, and it's like you hit a different energy center and you're working a different mode of training, and your brain operates in a different way. You experience a different uncomfort, a different pain, a different stress response in the body, so that then your psychologically things shift. Whereas sometimes doing, say, really, really long repetitive stuff that's boring as hell, you're going to have a different stress response at different points, okay? And what's cool about that is that they're just different experiences. And so, if you consistently only do 20 minutes, I really would challenge you to like do an hour and a half, do 2 hours of just something, just to experience longevity and uncomfortable monotony. There's something beautiful about monotony, by the way. The fact that it is monotonous and it has its own challenges as well. So anyhow, the last thing I want to share, and Hell on the Hill was great again this year. My wife did it with me. She was fantastic. She finished, I think, 4 hours again, a little over 4 hours. I finished 2:43 or something like that, which was 20 minutes off 2 years ago. So I guess that's the improvement. So I've knocked 10 minutes off last couple of years. But the people there are just always great. And so I just want to leave you on this note, and then I'll update you about the day I did with the assaulters at a different time. Is, surround yourself, keep evaluating your core 5, core 10, core 20. The people you spend the most amount of time with, make sure they're supporting you. Make sure you get rid of toxic people as quickly as possible in your life, even if it's as simple by default not responding to them or not reaching out to them, even if they don't even know that you no longer are, your core 5, your core 10, your core 15. That's who you're going to become in a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. And what I found is that the better job I do at protecting my core 5, the better job my mindset is, the better I'm doing with my workouts, the better I'm doing as a parent and a husband and a part of my own family and my own ecosystem, because we want to create a positive environment for our kids. We want them to grow up believing in themselves. They can do anything we do. And so a lot of the things I do is truly to just keep setting high bars for myself, but also for this lineage that I plan on not leaving anytime soon, but like creating. So, all right, that's it. I hope you're awesome. Oh, I got 2 quick shout outs I got to do for it. So Romza, I want to give a quick shout out to Romza. He just came out with an amazing new supplement, by the way, called Relax. I actually took it today after I felt like I got virtually killed 5 times by these guys. And it scared the crap out of me that I really needed. Relax is a supplement that is perfect for your adrenal. It feeds your adrenals. And what's great about that is all of us, men and women, especially if you're a go-getter, especially if you're utilizing a lot of energy, you need your adrenals to be fed and fueled and recovered. And so that's what this supplement is designed for. Dr. Ian Stern, DRIANSTERN.com. Check him out. Try it out. A lot of athletes are using it, because it's really good for the adrenals. But if you didn't know this, over 80-something%, I think it's like 85% of women ages 35 to 50 have adrenal fatigue. So, which means you're shouldering the worries and struggles of the world at being an amazing mom or grandma or just female overall. And so your adrenals get taxed. And men, if you're out hustling and grinding away, your adrenals get taxed. So check it out, Dr. Ian Stern, and quick shout out to Romza. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for your recent help in a quick favor. So that's it. Hope you're all awesome and make it an amazing day.